Hello, everyone. Welcome to our IG Live founder chats. Um, hi, hello, everyone joining. All right, usually we do our founder chats on Tuesdays, but this week we are doing Thursday because I was unavailable on Tuesday. I was doing a startup boot camp with, I was doing a pitch boot camp with Startup Canada is what I was trying to say on Tuesday. Hi. Okay, so while we're just waiting for Nicole to join us, I will let you know a little bit about us. So I am Melanie Ewan. I'm one of the co-founders and managing partners of Volition. So we're dedicated to elevating entrepreneurship through skills-based training, one-on-one coaching, as well as curated events within the global startup ecosystem. And we also support the supporters of the global startup ecosystem. Alrighty, so still waiting now. And I literally just finished an IG Live with Startup Canada a moment ago, so I'm kind of screwing my brain back on as well at the moment. But hi. All right, so Unboxals has joined. And I want to, so Unboxals, am I inviting, there we go. Yes, I am inviting Unboxals. Sometimes companies, sometimes they join under their names, so I like to double check before I go live. Hi,
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you today?
I'm doing really well. I'm here in Dublin and the weather's been all over the place today, but it's been fun.
It's so great to see you.
Yeah, you too. Are you, you're morning, correct? Are you in the morning?
Yes, yeah,
West
yeah.
Coast?
It's West
Okay.
Coast. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, my originally from Vancouver, so West Coast is in my roots. So it's really lovely to see you. Yes, good morning and thank you. Welcome to everyone who has joined in the comments so far or joined us on our IG Live. And whether you're joining us here now or if you watch our IGTV later, which we will have this up there, just welcome. And how this goes essentially is that this is going to be like an informal kind of interview, as it were, conversational interview. So those who are hanging out in the chat, those hanging out in the chat, do let us know who you are, say hello, where you're joining us from, as I just adjust all the things. And also feel free to send in questions that you have for Nicole as well. So we are here today and we're going to get to know both Nicole as well as Unboxals a little bit better, which I'm super excited about because we met Nicole at I think at our Volition Pitch BC, although we kind of
Yeah.
we're touching base here and there a few times, and I got to know you a little bit better on a phone call, which is really cool. And Unboxals is just such a cool company doing really important work and really beautiful work. So I'm really excited to hear so much more. Oh, there we go. Happy birthday, Nicole. It's in the comments. I sent an email being like, do you want me to mention this? But someone else mentioned it. So it's also Nicole's birthday.
I see some of my old friends from my Club Penguin days. The penguins are online.
Okay, so they knew. What's that?
And my Disney friends.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yes. And hello, everyone, and happy birthday, Nicole. I just found out it was Nicole's birthday. It's very exciting. Okay, so as I mentioned, feel free to ask questions away. We'll have about half an hour to learn more about Nicole and about Unboxals. So what I know about Unboxals is that Nicole came to one of our pitch events and did a 3-minute pitch. It's really incredible. Everyone was very excited about what they were doing. And in kind of like a one sentence of what Unboxals is, and you're going to say it so much better than me. But from my understanding, so I have here that Unboxals Creative is on a mission to unbox the superpowers of animals and kids through engaging educational apps, experiences, and entertainment. So I'd love to unbox what that means, if you will. And essentially, I just love to start with hearing more about Unboxals and also kind of your story as it relates to Unboxals. So I'm going to stop talking, hand the reins over to you, and let us know more about what it is that you're building.
Well, I wouldn't be here without the founder, Deanna Kent, the unbelievable former coworker from Disney Club Penguin days. And it was actually 3 years ago that Deanna came and approached me and said, Nicole, I have this idea. And she had with her spouse, Neil Huson, and Nick Clements, who are all of us worked together for 10 years at Disney. And Penguin, working on Club Penguin, our amazing journey there. She came to me and said, I've been in charge of the corporate social responsibility for Club Penguin and on the tech side of the Walt Disney Company. And so I was always talking, world change, engaging kids, and that was a big part of Club Penguin. Yeah. It was what we believed in, was that kids could change the world through connected play. And so it was something that we all were very passionate about. And Deanna had read about how really populations of wildlife were crashing, that, kids were not being connected to nature, were really unaware of even the species in their own backyard, like wild in their own backyard. And, there's even studies out there. There's a British study from a few years ago that said that 4 to 5 kids know more about Pokemon characters than they do about wildlife. So she just really was like horrified by this. Yeah. And of course, it was always something we were all passionate about, were kids and really unleashing their curiosity through play and getting them inspired and excited about that they have the power to make a difference in the world. Yeah. And so at the same time, it coalesced with the fact that there was this, as you know, and you may know, the crazy sort of unboxing phenomena on YouTube with kids. It started years ago where, they love watching other kids unbox something like toys or whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she came up with the concept that we could build content around that concept of unboxing these amazing animals that kids aren't necessarily aware of, and really showcasing their superpowers. And at the same time, helping kids see that they also have their own superpowers. And we just saw that, we dove into it and looked at, what was out in the marketplace. And what we saw in the marketplace were really great people doing great work and trying to get into that digital space. But sort of coming from that sort of sciencey perspective that isn't fun and entertaining.
Yeah, it just wasn't connecting with like what kids really wanted to engage with. Yeah.
It's more like homework instead of like through play. Yeah. And then what we saw on the other side, which was sort of the straight entertainment, they were trying to say they were educational for young kids. Yeah. And it just wasn't, like
landing.
Yeah. And so what we came up with, and our first product that we've just launched, is an app, mobile game for kids, and it's called Unboxals Super Shark Power. And it's available right now in iOS. It's going to be available in the Google Store here in the next few months. Okay. It really is about showing and showcasing to kids amazing animals and getting them excited and through exploration and interactivity in the game. So number one, it's fun. When you build something for kids, it has to be fun or they're not going to use it.
Yeah.
And number two, it's quality. So Neil, who's our head of art and animation, he's a phenomenal artist, and he basically, has done all the artwork for it, and it's incredible. And of course, Deanna, having her writing background, her and Neil actually have amazing experience writing kids' graphic novels.
So, right.
And she actually was an educator as well, so she was a teacher herself.
Yeah.
And, we've married these facts with fun and exploration in this app. And then we are also building out short form video content. So we did our first that during Earth Month. For the 50th anniversary of Earth Month, we had 9 conservation partners join us from around the world to really highlight unique and amazing animals. So you can
Yeah.
learn about that at our website, unboxals.com. And yeah, we're really just starting. And even though we've been working on this for 3 years
Yeah.
and doing lots of testing along the way,
Yeah.
we're about to launch our third version of the app
Okay.
in the fall.
Yeah.
And what we're getting early on is really amazing feedback from kids that are playing and our conservation partners around the world.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, because I remember you mentioning, I think in your pitch that kids are, is it that they're staying longer on the app or like what's that? What was that?
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
nerdy scientist and I would love to know this the stats.
It's great. So, you've got we call it DAO in the business. So your daily
Okay.
active users and your monthly active users.
Yep.
And your typical kids app for retention sits around, for this demographic, which is the 4 to 6 year old, it sits around 2 to 3%.
Okay.
And what we're finding is that our app is sitting around 14 to 16%.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So fantastic. And then
Yes.
some of the other measurements that we're looking at are, how many are the kids finding things? Are they staying in the app and exploring and unlocking 100 learning points in every app that we are building? And so the kids, if they're unlocking those learnings and exploring and unlocking different content, and each day we're actually tracking the metrics of that, and literally hundreds and hundreds of these facts are getting unlocked by kids every day.
It's very
So
cool.
really excited to see that kids are engaged and they're exploring and learning through that curiosity and play. And in our user testing, results were fantastic as well.
So, and I'm really curious. I was actually just thinking of this today, about, okay, so this was kind of dreamed up by, so it was
Deanna.
Sorry, Deanna. So it's dreamed up by Deanna 3 years ago, and your team this is the kind of dream team that's absolutely incredible,
It is.
has built
Yeah.
this over 3 years. What has it been like? Did you have kind of startup experience before this, or what has that been like for you and your role?
Well, for myself, I would say, throughout my personal career, I've always loved building things and jumping into things.
Yeah.
So, previous to this, I started a consulting business after I left the Walt Disney Company. And even when I was at the Walt Disney Company for almost 10 years, I really reinvented whatever I was doing. And I'm so fortunate to work with incredible people there. And they really gave me free range in a lot of cases to build out programs that engage kids and reach kids. And working with these phenomenal people, like our Club Penguin team, we did something called Coins for Change every year. And that team was really great about reimagining things based on what kids loved. And so getting to work with these amazing creatives, and trying new things and being in a really great environment with fabulous leaders who really encourage that. So, we look back to one day with Blaine Merrifield, Lance Preet, and Disco, who are just incredible mentors to us and all the people we worked with.
Yeah.
So, they really gave us the opportunity to try things and to fail.
Yeah.
And then even previous to that, in my own career, I was very involved with as an advisor to nonprofits, and that's been my personal passion.
Right.
Is leaving the planet better than I found it.
Yeah. So this is like such a cool,
Yeah.
marrying of like the entrepreneurial spirit with the do-good piece.
Yeah.
I love it.
First. So that's the way we've created Unboxals, is with this purpose first, looking through that lens, that we're really wanting to provide incredible experiences for children and parents, to bring those families together around quality content, digital games that are fun and actually are teaching kids something about the planet and cells and these incredible animals that need our help around the world.
Cool.
So
I love it.
What we're
Yeah.
doing.
I love it. Yeah. And
it's such a fit. And and everyone on our team is so devoted to it. My partners, Deanna, Neil, Nick Clements, who is head of our brand and marketing, and Ross Liddell, who is one of our senior programmers, has his own programming business. All of us are very entrepreneurial. Since we left Disney, we all have our own companies that are operating. And the cool thing is we never stopped working together.
Yeah.
So, I'll pull in my different people
that
I'm working on with clients, and likewise with them. So, for us to come together and create Unboxals together it was a natural progression, I think.
It's very cool. I'm thinking, so what I'm thinking is like, I mean, it's so obvious how much you love this company. When you talk about it, it just shines through, and your team, obviously. And like, team is such an incredibly important part of building any startup at any point in time, or kind of building anything. But what I'd love to know, like in addition to that piece around like bringing people together who you love to work with and have all of these incredible complementary skills, in addition to that really, really important lesson learned, I'm curious about what other kind of lessons you've learned over the past 3 years, and then we'll get into like the past like 6 months and how chaotic that's been. But just like in this journey, what has that looked like, and what kind of tips do you have for your peer entrepreneurs who are going, especially those who are wanting to build something that does have that purpose first kind of element to it?
Yeah, I think, and I've done a lot of advising to people on purpose first projects since I left Disney, and working on different people's products and what they're doing. And at the end of the day, for sure, your flag has to be, keep your integrity and really focused on your purpose. Be very focused on what that is. At the same time, whatever you're creating, it has to resonate with your audience. And so you absolutely need to be doing your research and testing and iterating along the way. What I've seen too often with other entrepreneurs is they have a grand idea and they put a lot of money and effort into it before they've done research and testing. And so when as we've progressed over the last 3 years, we've started very small and iterated step by step. So we're putting a lot of our money, not a lot of our time, because we all have day jobs. I did as well, with everything I was doing. So it was really about like, how do we, test the water as we go. And this is something that, we really learned from Lance Preeb's team over at Hyper Hippo. Don't throw a lot of time and effort into something until you've really tested it with your market, and it resonates, and that you've got. And if you look at some of the very successful businesses out there, like look at Slack. Slack actually was never intended to be the product that company was building. Yeah. And that's the product. It wasn't what they had originally even thought up that they were trying to go to market with. So you just, until you test the market and allow yourself that chance to iterate along the way. Otherwise, what can happen is you've spent like some millions of dollars potentially, and you haven't really tested it in the market, and you don't know if it's going to resonate with an audience. And so for us, that was really important that we be clear on that.
Yeah, it's such an important lesson, and it happens all the time, like you're mentioning. It's something that one of our advisors, Sandra Spencer, she calls problem market fit as opposed to product market fit. So actually figuring out that, are you actually solving for a problem that really needs solving, and does the market actually, are they actually interested in the solution that you're developing for a problem they even feel like they have? So it's one of those things that so many people just jump into solutionizing, and they jump into creating all these bells and whistles and gadgets and gizmos. And you see those in the pitches where it's just most of the pitch is about all the exciting features, but it's have you actually, who's your customer? And they're like, oh, I'm not entirely sure. So
Other thing I think that's been really interesting, Deanna as the founder and myself as CEO, the guys, they're like, okay, well, who's going to be the startup CEO? And I said, well, I'll do it. You know, like I love leading things.
Yeah.
And, but at the same time, I really don't love the cult of the personality. I think too often our society really puts the CEO or one person on a pedestal,
Mm.
or, you know, like because they happen to be maybe the front person or whatever it is. And Jan and I met afterwards and we're like, you know, actually, no, we're co-leading this. Like we're together on this, and we
Yeah.
can define what this looks like as leading an initiative, a company that is just in its infancy, and really doing it in I think a very unique way that
Mm.
really honors everyone's special skills and abilities on the team. And
Mm-hmm.
if we all have our lane and do a great job in our lane and come back together to discuss and make decisions together, then we're building something that's really got a strong base and is going to really do well. Because what I've seen too with entrepreneurs is sometimes their ego gets ahead of them and they start to believe their own, can I swear on this, but bullshit.
Sure. I mean, there's no rules.
So like, you know, and then they you know, they get people telling them, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so great, you're so great, and
Yeah.
then they lose touch with their team,
Yeah.
and to stop recognizing that they have gaps, that they have what I would call blind spots.
Yeah.
And so having that strong team around you and with you side by side, I think it makes your company much stronger in the long term.
It's
Uh,
incredible.
and that doesn't mean you agree on things. In fact, you should have friction. You should have,
Absolutely.
you know,
How do you grow otherwise? Yeah.
and you should have, you know, like all sorts of things so that you know you discuss and you work through together and you know keep everyone honest together on. So yeah.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah, someone's saying in the comment here that it's an interesting point. I'm thinking around this problem market fit piece that you were talking about too, saying it reminds me of the invention of sliced bread. Do you create a product because the market wants a machine to slice the bread, or do you just sell the bread sliced? Yes. So how do you figure that out? You don't just do it yourself. You actually talk to your customer. Novel concept. So thank you. That's incredible advice, and it's all going to be captured. And I absolutely love this. So I do want to, as you know, well, actually, I'm not sure if you knew this or not, but this, the founder chats kind of came out of when we were all locked down, essentially. And one of the
Yeah.
main, we did a survey, and one of the main things that a lot of entrepreneurs in our community said is that they were really looking for visibility and they're looking for connection.
Mm-hmm.
So we started our founder chats, and I was curious. I haven't really heard tones of yet of like what kind of, if there's been any impact on you and your team and the product launching, or this third phase coming up, or the third iteration coming up.
Yes.
But I'm curious about what has 2020 been like for you, and like what have there been any like kind of new lessons that have come out of this?
Well, you know, as far as the business goes, it's been an incredible. We're seeing that the market needs what we're building and what we've created, and so we see that parents are stressed out.
Right.
You know, like especially our friends in the States and around the world that are still locked down. You know, like I just had a message from one of my friends from Disney down in Argentina. It's really tough
Mm,
right now.
yeah.
And one of our team members is down in Los Angeles, and we have a real global perspective of what's going on. And so it's been really hard and difficult to see people struggling. We're very blessed here in Canada and British Columbia. You know, we're impacted. At the same time, we rallied as a country and community to really do our part to
Right.
mitigate what's happening. So from that perspective, things are great. From the business perspective, it is an opportunity for us, and not that I want to be an ambulance chaser. At the same time, our product is really filling some gaps
Yeah.
because it is engaging for young kids. It is educational. and it does help connect them to nature, and it helps connect the parent and the kid to something they can do together and share together.
Mm.
When a parent's stressed out trying to balance being at home and trying to manage their young children, we've all been there where we're like, oh my gosh, just go watch something, play a game, do
Yeah.
something, got to get this done. And, for us, building what we have made front and center, which is really quality, experiential, exciting, interesting products, and especially with our app, Unboxals Super Sharp Power, that has really been a great thing that we've been doing, and it's been growing because of the current environment.
Right.
And people are looking for content, and they're looking for quality content.
Quality content, exactly. And like values aligned quality content too.
Yeah. It's not trying to, there's no in-app purchases, for example, in our app.
Right. Yeah.
Our videos are, clean. There's no, no third-party advertising in them. It's really about that kid experience and having it be really authentic, real, and exciting and engaging, and really opening up their curiosity and play.
Yeah.
And so giving those tools to parents that they can use and feel good about and not guilty about during time. And so, we really see there's a huge opportunity, and there's an opportunity as well we see with business to business, because our zoos and aquariums are suffering.
Right.
Accredited zoos and aquariums do incredible work in conservation, and I'm talking about the accredited zoos and aquariums.
Yes.
So we could see developing apps using our methodology with zoos and aquariums, and we're in discussions with some zoos and aquariums right now. So they've got a way to connect with young audiences 365 days of the year, not just, relying on the people going through the turnstiles, that they actually have a way to extend their brand and to connect and really engage millennial parents and their kids around the Vancouver Aquarium, or whoever it is, the experience that they would normally go to in order to meet these animals.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen these animals and it's kind of like, I feel like it's difficult to imagine how beautiful it is and how fun it is until you go to the website and actually check it out. So what is the website again?
It's unboxals.com.
Unboxals.com, like unboxing something. Unboxals, ALS at the end, unboxals.com. It's really, really cool. We're coming up to the end of our session here. Just have a couple more questions. So those who are joining us here on the live or IGTV afterwards, if you have any questions, again, or comments, please do feel free to add them in here. Cool. So there's someone making a comment here saying it's a really great time to provide a meaningful resource as parents who are seeking virtual education experiences for their children. So reiterating what Nicole was saying, which is fantastic. So do check out what it looks like. And I would love to know, Nicole, we, as your audience, at Volition, we always say, always have an ask. And our question is, we as your audience here today and in the future, what can we do for you to support you and Unboxals at this time?
We'd love you to introduce Unboxals to any parent out there that has young kids. And if you are connected to a zoo or aquarium, we really would love to meet with some of those people right now, or big conservation organizations, because we've got this digital experience that we can tailor to their experience with their entities. So, download the app, the Unboxals Super Sharp Power. Check out the website unboxals.com, and just follow us too on our handles. So at Unbox, and that's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And
at Unboxals.
We just love you to follow us and be with us on our journey and introduce us to those parents with kids.
Amazing. Okay. And another question I have is, what is your favorite thing about working on Unboxals?
Working on something with purpose, with an amazing group of partners that I love working with and never tire of working with. And it's been now 13 years working with these people, either in a company setting or in contract settings or with Unboxals. So it's an amazing group
Very
that
cool.
we're working with.
And something we often get asked, I haven't seen it here today, something we often get asked is, what is the vision for Unboxal? So what does like a year from now look like, or a couple of years from now look like?
A year from now, we want to be the digital entertainment company for kids in the 4 to 6 space that's bringing really meaningful, purpose-driven, educational content to the world.
Cool. Love it. All right. So is there anything that we haven't touched on yet here today that you wanted to talk about?
We just are really thankful for this opportunity, and the world has a lot of problems, and I just think for everyone through this pandemic that what really matters, and what really matters are our relationships with the people in our lives, what we're doing, and that we're doing something with purpose, and that we're leaving this planet better than we found it. And if there's one silver lining about the pandemic, the environment has definitely.
Whoops,
So
no, it's okay. It's the environment we're in.
yeah, it's the environment we're in, and basically, we all have an opportunity to make a difference on this planet through the choices we make every day, the content we consume, the products we build, and what we do in our own personal relationships. So I would say, just that, just be purposeful and intentions ahead of everything else, good intentions.
Amazing. I love that. Yeah, we have the power. We have the power to make a difference in various ways. And everyone kind of has, what's been interesting about this year is there's so many different ways to make a difference, and they can be very small or they can be really grandiose. And it's completely fine where you land on that spectrum. But I think it has given that a lot of people have kind of like gone back and looked at their core values and gone back and looked at their why and figure out, where they do want to spend their time and energy going forward, and what kind of normal, quote unquote, if there ever was one, what kind of normal do we, people keep talking about the new normal, but what do we actually want to go, or sorry, going back to normal, but like, what do we actually want to go back to? And we have this opportunity to shift things and to create a new way of doing things. So I think it's very cool. You're an incredible role model for, I think, a lot of people who, you and your team working on things that you really care about, and with teams that you love, and things that bring you purpose and is aligned with who you are. And you can see that as you speak. And I always get so much joy out of seeing that. And so I want to thank you for bringing that here today as well, and in all the work you do. And I'm just so excited to see where this goes. And speaking of joy, the last question I like to ask is, what is one thing that is bringing you joy right now?
My teenage son.
Okay.
Yeah, which sounds like an oxymoron, but it isn't.
I have no idea. I think teenagers are really fun.
He is an incredible kid, and he's passionate about animals and the outdoors. And I am just, I love the young adult he's grown into. He's really a neat kid. So I would say he's my North Star.
Very cool. Yeah. I think kind of going back to what you were saying at the beginning, that, you were talking about children, but also teenagers, there's so much hope there. And it's one of the reasons I love working with youth entrepreneurs in particular, is because it gives me hope for the future, and the imagination, and just not being jaded by things, and this sense of this is the way things are. So what next? What are we going to do to change this? What are we going to do to fix it? It's not like you have to convince kids that there's a problem. It's just okay, so let's change it. Don't have kind of the same, boxes. So I love working with youth. And I loved what you said at the beginning about these, kids, and this piece around how through connected play, they have the power to change the world, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
I believe you said. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Well,
Amazing.
and like I just want to say one shout out here. I see Rosamira, who's in Colombia, has just joined,
Oh,
and
welcome.
star conservationists that we have been really. I've worked with through my Disney time and working with Disney conservation, and now through Unboxals, and like these are the kind of people that we are really championing through Unboxals because they are every day in the trenches fighting to save amazing species. And in
Mm,
this case, it's the cotton top tamarin in Colombia. And so if we can bring those things to kids everywhere and help them become passionate about these
advocates, yeah.
animals and how incredible they are. If kids don't know about something, they can't learn to love it and they can't want to save it. So, like again, it gets back to the heart of what we're doing at Unboxals, which is really putting purpose first and making sure the kids are connected to these amazing species that they need to know about and learn to love and protect.
Very cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, and thank you to the team at Unboxals and all the conservationists you work with and the partners you work with. It's really incredible what you're doing. As I mentioned, I'm really excited to see what comes of this, and I'm very happy that you were able to join us here today on your birthday. I really appreciate that. And thank you also to everyone who's joined again live or later on IGTV. We really appreciate you being here and being a part of this conversation. And please do make sure to say hello and whatever you want to say in the comments, and to connect with us and connect with Nicole and go over to Unboxals. Check it out. I will be back here next Tuesday as per usual. And I'm going to be talking to Anna Chan of My Momentum, which is another really cool Vancouver-based company. And yes, amazing interview and amazing mission. I agree. Absolutely amazing. It was a pleasure talking to you, Nicole. And I am sure, hopefully we can have you back on and hear where things are at with Unboxals a year from now or sooner. And I hope that I just wish you all the best. So
Thank
thank you
you.
again.
Thank you.
Of course. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.